Pikakucha is a Japanese word for chit-chat, and is the name of a presentation project made central Japan two architects looking forward to each other quickly and simply. Since then, ideas spread to over 700 cities around the world. At every Pechikucha night, creative thinkers come together and share their ideas with only 20 images shown for 20 seconds each. Pechakucha, a fast, fun format. Find the location, join the conversation.
Hi everyone, thank you for joining us tonight for our first live-streamed edition of PechaKucha on Ultracall Online. I'll kick things off by introducing the PechaKucha concept. PechaKucha is a Japanese translation for chit-chat and is a storytelling format where a presenter shows 20 slides for 20 seconds each, so a total of 6 minutes and 40 seconds per presenter. The presentation format was devised by Astrid Klein and Mark Dytham of Klein Dytham Architecture. And the first PechaKucha night was held in Tokyo in their gallery/lounge/bar/club/creative kitchen called Super Deluxe in February 2003. Why the format? Because they found that architects talk too much. PechaKucha is now present in 1,234 cities globally and has over 23,000 presentations online. At Ultracall, we started our PechaKucha journey in 2018 and are delighted to be part of this wonderful and inspiring global experience. Now for tonight's theme.
Now, this was just a context of what I was just speaking moments before. And in order to prepare the students well, I had shared an email with all the SMTs and the respected teacher so that you get an insight on how the rubric can be shared beforehand. Andrea, can you share your screen and show your evaluation log, please? And discuss a little bit on that.
My evaluative research log is, the topic is technology and society. So I researched a lot on the patterns of employment and also the technological effects on sectors like medicine, manufacturing, and education. Other than that, there's also the textbook, which is the last source that I put. I evaluated the content of the sources as well as compared the information that is lacking from each of them so that I wouldn't miss out information to put into my presentation.
Okay, thank you, Andrea.
So my topic is technology in society. Technology has changed a lot of things about so technology has changed a lot of things about how our society functions today. It also affects many sectors in the industry. The first that I'm going to be tackling is medicine. It is a sector that has been drastically improved by technological advancements. For example, computers that act as specialists, otherwise known as expert systems, to diagnose treatments for patients. It is specific and more accurate than traditional doctors and other specialists because they use a widespread scale of medical reports and information. So other than that, there's 3D printing that has made it much easier for the disabled to access more convenient means of obtaining prosthetic limbs. And then there is experimentation using nanotechnology, and it has helped in specific targeting in medicinal drugs. There, in the world of business, technology is inevitable. It is a very dynamic environment, and if a business remains static, it may not survive. COVID has particularly erased geographical locations via web and video conferencing, so it enables businesses to have more intense communications and gives more attention to teleworking in particular. Other than this, there's e-commerce, which has been on the rise even before COVID, but as the pandemic hit, it has become more in demand. For small businesses, it might be helpful because they gain more share in the market and consumers have a wide array of choices available to them. To complete the e-commerce experience, online transactions and banking are also considered. To consumers, there's no need to carry cash and transactions are all online. It proves convenience as consumers don't need to travel to pay or withdraw or deposit money. Technology's controversial relationship with employment often garners a lot of negative attention regarding redundancies, but in particular ways, potential candidates are shortlisted in a more efficient way because businesses are able to tackle the labor market where their criteria is being filled instead of entertaining inappropriate candidates. The rise of independent workers have also been prominent in the labor market. Their skill sets are often available on digital platforms. Other businesses like Uber have also employed independent workers and discards the conventional contracts. In this situation, e-learning has also been a growing industry. Much like workplaces, online learning utilizes video conferencing for synchronous sessions. It has been proven to be more interactive and easier for students and teachers to reach each other. Though this is really only applicable for learners who have a stable access to network connectivity and devices. Another sector is the manufacturing industry. It utilizes plenty of the products that have been developed from research. Commonly, firms may find augmented and virtual reality to simulate an immersive modeling process. Other firms that use automation to produce a large bulk of generalized goods have saved their costs on salaries and benefits for employees. And then it also saves them time in terms of since automation doesn't require much breaks and more human workers requires rest periods and leisure time. So technology has been a large part of our improvement and our influence on daily lives. It has given people opportunities to reach platforms in which they're able to grow. However, it is a problem and we need to think how long until these opportunities are inclusive to everyone.
Thank you, Andrea. I hope that it was very interesting for the audience as well. Now, I had also provided the students the option of screen recording themselves in case of internet lag that we generally have during the class time. So I have the recording of Zaina. And for Zaina, before she begins or before I share my screen and I start with her Picha I would like to nominate 2 students to mark her.
Everyone, today I'll be doing my ITPechaKucha for video conferencing, web conferencing, and teleworking. So let's start with video conferencing. So what exactly is a video conference? It is a technology that allows users in different locations to hold face-to-face meetings without having to move to a single location together. Some uses for a video conference could include holding routine meetings, negotiating business deals, and interviewing job candidates. What exactly is needed for a video conference? A video conferencing software, a high-resolution webcam, faster computer processing, a sufficient network bandwidth, video conferencing system, a video display screen, and a microphone. Next are some advantages and disadvantages of a video conferencing. So an advantage could be there's easier communication as everyone can share their opinions, and there's increased productivity. There's travel saving, which means you don't have to spend money on your transport, and there are no time constraints. And then a few disadvantages could be there's lack of personal interaction, there could be technical problems, or there's also a high cost of setup, and there could be international time zones, which means some of the time may not match and it'll be hard to do it. Okay, then next is web conferencing. Now, what is web conferencing? It is a Web conferencing allows a presenter to deliver a presentation over the web to a group of geographically dispersed participants, which is usually not very interactive. It's just the presenter presenting and the others just are usually listening without really interacting. What we need for a web conference is, again, a web conferencing software, a microphone, a webcam. Yeah. And then, again, disadvantages and advantages of a web conference. It's cost and time efficient. There are no location fees. It increases productivity. There's application and desktop sharing, which makes it easier for everyone to understand what's happening. There's also diversity, which allows people of different nationalities and location to interact and share information. Some disadvantages of the web conferencing could be how they sometimes have to give extra additional costs, or there could be a problem with hacking, as it might be easy to hack, and sometimes there's a breach of privacy. Next is teleworking. Teleworking refers to work flexibility arrangement under which an employee performs duties and responsibilities that of the employee's position, but they work from an approved work site other than the location from which employees would otherwise work, for example, their houses. An advantage of teleworking is how they have flexible work options, which increases productivity. This is because the atmosphere is usually in an office, which is very stressful. But as in teleworking, you work from home, which is a familiar atmosphere, so you're more comfortable working. And then it's environmental friendly. There is no cost effect. It's very cost effective. There could be employee retention. It also increases quality of life, and it also reduces real estate costs. Then disadvantages could be security concerns, or as they're at their house, there could be other people around them, which could be very distracting. There's also less human interaction as they work from home and don't really go see the people in their offices. There could be also problems in performance monitoring because it becomes hard for the bosses to look at what they're doing. And there could be health problems such as backaches or overworking. Yeah, that's it for my ITPechaKucha. Thank you.
Okay, well mentioned by Zaina on the lines of teleworking.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, we can.
This is the ITPechaKucha I created for the topic that I picked, technology-enhanced learning.
So, can you hear Zonera?
Yes, miss, we can.
So what exactly is technology-enhanced learning, and why has it become so important? The term TEL is usually used to define the application of technology to teaching and learning. And it is a broad category that isn't particularly defined, but it is transforming education and educational institutions beyond recognition and beyond classrooms. The term can be used to describe both analog and digital technologies. However, more recently, we see that digital TEL is taking over education in the form of different types of educational software. And for this reason alone, there are several software-based training methods that are used. For the self-guided version of this, a training package is installed onto your computer, which can be used without the need of internet. This allows students to access the course without internet connection. And a good course usually includes several features, which are clearly written, well laid out text-based lessons that the student reads from the screen. video lectures that you can see, and it allows you to listen to a person and their explanation. Audio features such as sound clips providing examples of spoken language so that students can practice by themselves at their own pace. Video material that shows people speaking in specific scenarios. So, for example, in a restaurant, at work, or in school. There are also plenty of written exercises for the student to undertake using a keyboard and a screen, which requires some basic skills of navigation. Quizzes and puzzles help to make the lesson a bit more fun, as well as glossaries and summaries of key points if the person wants to revise the concept. It also provides paper-based material for additional work and support material. Now, for the pros and cons, there are several advantages of this, which include students being able to learn the material at their own pace. So students who need extra time can spend more time going through the material, whereas other students who don't need support can continue ahead without being held behind by the other students. There is also automatic feedback available, so there is no need for you to wait for your teachers to reply to you or your working solution to the answers. It can be easily completed at home, which results in less pressure. Students who face exam pressure or test pressure will be able to complete the course more easily. As for the cons, there are several health issues regarding computer use, such as RSI, which is repetitive strain injury, and eye strain. It also requires a basic level of IT skills, which if the students don't have, they may lag behind in the course. And they also require, and they may also face some pressure to go through the material faster because other students may be ahead of them, so they may be pressured to go faster through the material. There's also no personal intervention by the teacher or tutor, which may be a disadvantage to some students because they prefer a more personal interaction with the teacher and may not be able to focus well if they're doing it at their own pace, if they're doing it by themselves. So the next subtopic for this is a MOOC, which is basically a short form for Massive Open Online Course. It is a model for delivering learning content online to any person who wants to take a course with no limit on attendance. This has several benefits and drawbacks. A few of the benefits are that it offers free courses by universities all around the world, and the requirements for studying a MOOC are minimal, and the charge in most cases is free. It also facilitates both personal and professional development, as it expands our knowledge, and it is a good way to network with teachers and peers. So it may also boost our confidence and increase our knowledge. However, there are also drawbacks, such as the difficulty in achieving a certificate for the course, because at the end of the course, they may ask you to pay a small fee for the certificate itself. It also makes discussion a challenge, as it is difficult for several thousand students to interact with each other. So students may prefer to interact in a small group rather than a huge amount of people. The courses are often simplified, so it may not match the level of the real learning experience, which is required by most universities or for jobs. Another topic is online tutorials, which several of us have been doing recently. It involves the use of a computer or other electronic devices and means to provide training, educational, or learning material. So the advantages, students have the chance to study in their own time and especially for free, which makes it a higher chance for students to do the tutorials. It also represents a great way to study many fields and to boost the level of self-motivation. Online learning is so effective because students can finish their homework quickly and there is more time left for hobbies and for finding a job. However, the disadvantages include that only in a small group can a person develop properly. At school, students learn how to make friends, be patient, get rid of disappointment, and especially to compete. Online learning cannot offer human interaction, which is disadvantageous for a lot of students. The next topic is video conferencing. which is a technology that allows users in different locations to hold face-to-face meetings without having to move in a single location together. It offers several advantages, which includes enhancing productivity. So video conferencing prevents backlogging of work as it allows employees to discuss the problems with the concerned person without any delay. So it provides easy availability of communication to prevent communication gaps, thus lessening the chances of pitfalls in the work. It's also cost cutting, as video conferencing helps to reduce travel costs and allows the company to interact with its employees and clients without any hassle. However, the disadvantages are that there could be a malfunctioning in the software or hardware component of the system. To rectify this issue, skilled technical people are required, and this may delay the work and add to the maintenance cost of the company. There is also a high financial strain, which includes installing a video conferencing system that can be a financial burden on a small scale company. However, this may not affect a large scale company as much. So it may be a bit of an expensive technology and requires regular maintenance.
Thank you. Okay, well done, Zunaira. If there are any questions, I would like the respected SMT to go ahead. Or if the SMT do not have any questions, then the students may ask any questions. Currently, I had applied for the ITPechaKucha, the global ITPechaKucha, and we are having a Zoom meeting next week. I've applied so that the students' ITPechaKuchas can be uploaded on their platform. If you have any questions, respected SMTs, please raise your hand. I do not see any raise of hands from SMTs. I would like Ms. Padma to say a few words, and then we can ask students if they have any questions.
Good afternoon, dear students. Thank you, Ms. Amna. I think it was very nice. What I understand is ITPechaKucha, as it is spelled, it is very interesting. So it is like 20 slides in 20 seconds that the children had made.
Yes.
I did not count the slides. I was trying to count the slides for one of the students, but then there was some call, so I couldn't continue. So you are confirming that there are 20 slides and children are finishing the presentation, speaking or presenting in 20 seconds?
That my evaluators will evaluate. I have evaluated. One of my students was a little less than the required time. That was 6 minutes 40 seconds, and 2 of my students were ahead.
All right. It is very interesting. It is a way of, for the students to convey whatever information they want to give for that particular topic that they have chosen in a very limited time, and giving useful information in a limited time with the useful slides. So I think this was very good. This might help them in their future when they're pitching in their, kind of business solutions or wherever they are in work front later. This will help them and enhance their way of presenting information to the people. So it was very nice, Amna, to be in your class, and students, I think it was a great job done by you. Take it more forward, and it's a nice thing that your peers are evaluating you on the work that you have provided with the relevant information, and this will add on. Take it positively. Whatever the comments the children tell you, your peers give you, take it positively to enhance your learning further. All right, Ms. Amna?
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Padma. Very valuable insight, and like always, you have a valuable constructive feedback to build on. Definitely, my students will work on the timings, and I will also thoroughly review if those were 20 images. So usually what happens is there are 20 slides. So they were using Sway. So they had 20 decks.
Yeah, I understood. I saw that they were using Sway presentation. So that is another learning that they have taken it forward, right? Not the simple. And wasn't it an office mix kind of I thought it was also, they were also using screencasting to record their presentation?
Yes, today Zunaira and Zaina did use screencast Zanera did send me her screencasted session ahead, and Zaina had shared the link from Screencast-O-Matic. That is the name of the software. If any other student wants to use them for their enrichment. May I have questions from the students, please? I would just like to mention that there is a very popular concept and which the students will be coming across when they go to their universities. It's called 2-minute research paper. So this time, in order to introduce, it was very difficult to make it as less as 2 minutes, but I just told my students that they can take it ahead with ITPechaKucha, and it was approximately within 7 minutes. So thank you everyone for your presence. I hope that you will be looking ahead with similar presentation for your other subjects. Thank you, respected SMTs, and thank you, Sir Wajid and Ms. Zaina for being there. I will be sending across the evaluative log sheet. So if you want to cross-reference and have a look at this, by this, I was able to complete a formal assessment, and also I was able to complete a module on pristine pathway enrichment that was required on my part. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, students. Thank you, Ms. Amna. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.